Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this episode of Behind the Wrestler. My guest at this evening is none other than two-time former Hughes Academy Champion, Kenith.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for taking the time out and doing this interview.
That's alright, man. No worries.
So, first question, you're going to get asked probably lots of times. When, where, and how, and who inspired you to become a professional wrestler?
When, where, and how? Geez, that's probably going back about 3 years ago now, give or take. Where? It was, my first match was it was for a fundraiser for Avondale, I think it was, I'm not too sure, I might have it wrong, but it was some type of fundraiser. Graham actually approached me, or his partner did, Tanya, said, hey, would you like to give wrestling a try, looking for some numbers, and I've remembered you talking about wanting to do wrestling, so since I used to watch it as a kid. So I just chose to help out a little bit, and yeah, so had my first match. It was against Graham. Loved it. Had so much fun, and I guess that's where it all started. I didn't really have a massive backstory of wanting to always be in it, but obviously I used to always muck around with my mates. Use bunk beds as a ladder to climb up and grab a belt when we were younger kids. So that was our thing. We used to watch WWF and WWE, as you know it now. So yeah, that's kind of where it all sparked from, and 3 years down the track we're still jamming and still enjoying it. So yeah, it's not the greatest backstory, but it is what it is. It's just something that I fell into and I really enjoy it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember when Kenith had his first match against Graham, which was a fundraiser, like he said, and literally he had about, I'm gonna say, 2 hours worth of training that day.
Yeah, you could give it about 2 hours.
Yeah, it was about.
Show me how to do a scoop slam, how to take a bump. I think I attended maybe one training course before it. How to do a couple of bumps on your back, on your front, how to do a flip bump. But yeah, just real basic stuff, just so that I didn't hurt myself or hurt anyone else. Funny story though, I think I ended up breaking Graham's nose in my first match, which was obviously an accident, didn't do it on purpose. I think it was off a finisher that we'd come up with, that I wanted to try. It was kind of like a modified RKO type thing, and his nose hit my shoulder. So yeah, I don't know if he appreciated it too much, but at the same time, it seems like he was pretty happy with the match as a whole, seeing as I only had about like you said, about 2 hours of training before that. Even my ring attire was kind of put together. If I can remember, I think it was a pair of blue shorts, some borrowed knee pads from Kathleen, and some blue high tops that I wear. I don't wear them anymore, but yeah, just something that I threw together. I don't know if I looked like a wrestler, but I probably didn't even move like a wrestler, but hell man, I had fun. I felt like a wrestler. So.
And first, you had that match, and then you found out that you were gonna cut your first promo at your official debut on an official show. What was the thoughts going through your mind and finding out that
first promo. So yeah, first promo, probably I wouldn't really call it a promo. It was more like a fumble. I kind of jutted my way through it. Wasn't really big on public speaking, so yeah, that was that was a first for me in terms of speaking in front of a foreign crowd. I've done it a couple of times before, but never like that. So and I hated speeches when I was in school. So cutting that first promo was a bit dicey, and I think even some of the boys backstage kind of could see it, could see the nerves coming through. So I can't remember if it was that promo or a different promo that Rob actually jumped in and sort of cut me off before I sort of lost my way. But yeah, it was a feeling of, it was mostly nerves, trying to articulate the words together in a fashion as a wrestler would, I suppose. You kind of watch people like The Rock and Stone Cold and other people when you're growing up, so you try and articulate it, but it never really comes out the way that you think it's going to come out in your head. So yeah, definitely nerves was the main thing. Had to stop my leg from shaking, so yeah.
When you found out your first match against Kartik, and you went through with like a series of matches with him, which we'll get to in a point, ended in a tables match. What was your, like, as you found out the process that was going through now, what was the thoughts and the preparation going through your mind of preparing for your first official debut match?
So yeah, meeting Kartik for one of the first times, and finding out that we were going to be working together. I think it was my first ever feud that I've ever had, and to sort of articulate a story around that, and tell a story from the first match leading up to the last match that we had. That first match, I went in, same thing, with nerves, but probably more or less excitement as well. I've had a couple of matches before that, nothing too grand, but I knew that Kartik was someone that I was going to be able to work with, because he was a lot more experienced than I was. So for him to step in that ring with me, and for me to step in that ring with him, it felt really cool, for me at least, to be able to work with someone who had that kind of experience and was willing to sort of give me a bit of a rein as well. Get a rein, but more of a rope to let me do my own thing as well. So he was up for it. If I wanted to try something new, we'd give it a go, and if it worked, it worked. If it didn't, we'd move on. And same goes with him. So seeing as he was quite athletic and I was quite athletic, some of the things that we could pull off were relatively amazing, in my eyes at least. So from the first match, right through to the last match, our matches got heavier, they got harder. We did more crazier stuff than the previous match, I just had a blast working with him, because at the end of the day he was a cool dude. So just being able to lock arms with him every time we step in that square circle, it was a cool feeling, right up until that last match we had. It was a means to an end, and it was a fun journey. I'm hoping that he had a good time on that journey as well. There was a couple of bumps and bruises along the way. I think I recall one of the first big punches. I think our first match that we had was, we had this whole bit of the story that we were trying to tell, where he wasn't allowed to hit my face. My face was too pretty, we've got to keep it clear, we've got to keep it clean. Tabitha's sitting there going, can't touch the face, don't touch the face. And then we've been running these little sort of gimmick promos or whatnot, just little spots where he'd got to throw a punch at my face and I'll dodge it or something like that, and then it finally hit that moment when he actually connected his fist with my face, and no joke, it was a real punch. people say wrestling's fake. That moment definitely wasn't fake. I think my jaw wasn't right probably for a good month at least, maybe even 2. That first couple of weeks I couldn't really eat food properly because it was a solid punch. I think he even took some of my skin off my jawline on his wraps. So for those of you who say wrestling is fake, definitely one of those moments that you can kind of testify and say it's not.
Still sorry about that. That is true. I did punch him legitimately in the face, and I did.
To be fair though, it was partly my fault. It was partly my
It was
fault.
all
More
me.
his.
It was all me.
But I leant into that full,
Yeah.
wholeheartedly. I misjudged it.
Yeah,
at
me
the
too.
End of the day.
Me too.
Don't lie. He didn't pull it back.
I did not pull it back. I just threw it.
He threw it and hoped that I would block it or I would somehow feint it.
Yeah.
Nah.
Nah.
But that was the cool thing about our matches, was that we had this sort of a mutual understanding of each other, and whenever we went in for he went in for his spear, we didn't want to make it look like it was staged at all. Since I played rugby when I was younger, I thought, here we go, I could take a tackle. So I always told him before every match, if he was going to hit a spear in that match, I always told him, go full bore, don't hold back, hit me with all you got. And that kind of reminds me of the first time he hit me with a spear. It was during promo. I was wearing a blue shirt and black pants,
all
black
suited up,
vest, and all suited up. And I told him before we went out there, I said, when you come out to do the spear, hit me with all you got. And it was the first time I'd ever taken it from Kartik, and it kind of set a line for it. But I told him, hit me with all you got, and he did. And I think he got me right underneath the ribs, and he winded the hell out of me. But it was beautiful, and it looked cool. That spot looked so awesome. And every other spear after that he's ever hit on me, just equally just looks as devastating. So they do hurt. Every single one of them.
I may or may not have broken his ribs.
Maybe I could. Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure I've only done it twice. So you mentioned the first official storyline going in, and so the way that our tables match was planned out was Kartik won the Rumble, and he had the opportunity to wrestle Charlie Roberts, who was the Hughes Academy Champion at the time. And obviously it was part of the storyline that we were doing, and the finish for that match was you get to put Kartik through a table, literally just run through the crowd and push him off the top.
I remember that.
So
that was good. I thought I killed you for a second there. Match between Kartik and Rob. They're chilling out and they're doing their thing, and obviously part of the promo leading up to the tables matches. I think this is what kind of set it up. Was this what set it up, or
because the following show was the tables match.
This is what set it up, and I'd already had a match prior to that, and I come out and I sit in the crowd. You can't see me. I'm in the crowd, and I'm just one of the people in the crowd, and Kartik goes up to the ropes to, hype up the crowd and get ready to pounce on Rob. And so I come flying through. I think I may have tripped over a chair, I'm not sure, in the haste of it, but no one caught it, on camera at least. And then I climb up and push him, and I gave him a little tap. It wasn't the biggest tap, it was a little tap, but it might have been a bit too much, and so Kartik, I don't know if he fell or jumped off the top turnbuckle, but there's a table set up below it, That was supposed to be the announcers table. We didn't even. I think we might have gimmicked that one from memory.
I think so.
I think
we
I think we gimmicked
cut
that
out
one.
the poles.
We cut the poles
Yeah.
so that it would break easy. But you just hit it too, and you I think you even hit the ground pretty hard.
Yeah, so it was like half bum cheek on table.
And I remember looking down at you after you'd gone through the table, and in my head, I thought I'd killed you. I thought, man, I've really hurt him because he's not moving. But at the same time, you know, physically the show had to keep going, so I had to feint and kind of hide the emotion of like maybe I might have actually hurt him, and laugh and sort of jest and be kind of evil, I suppose, be the bad guy, be the heel, and yeah, and then then obviously everyone comes and checks on him, and I disappear backstage and whatnot, and comes back. I said, dude, are you alright? He's like, yeah, man, I think I landed on my shoulder or something. He's like, I think I'll be fine. I was like, sweet. God, jeez. It's like my heart stopped when I was on that top 10 ball, but it made for a cool shot. I remember seeing that promo over and over again.
Yeah.
Like, the build up, and it looked epic.
Yeah.
The way that it was edited and everything, it just looked amazing. It looked devastating. So I think we got what we were trying to get.
Yeah.
Which was really cool.
And then it went on to obviously already knew set up for the tables match the following show. So here's Kenith preparing for the tables match, and we did like shows 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So it's like 6 weeks of nervousness and going through the whole thing. And show comes up, and it's tables match, and we're the main event. First main event.
Yeah. Definitely.
The time limit we had was 15 minutes, and I think we went like 40.
Yeah, I think we went way over.
Yeah. But, Graham wasn't mad about it.
So it was the last match, and,
Yeah.
and everyone was invested. It's not like there was anyone else after us. So, I mean, we didn't realise we went over. But, yeah, I probably felt like I was wrestling for about 40 minutes. Definitely the longest match. It was a cool build-up, and that match, definitely my favourite. Out of all the matches we've had, definitely my favourite.
Yeah. If anybody thinks going through a table is fun and it's soft, it never is.
No, well, yeah, so obviously Kartik got to go through a table in there, and if you'd seen our tables match, you obviously know that I'm the one who ends up going to the table. That was an interesting finish because we weren't sure how it was going to pan out.
Yeah.
Mainly because we didn't gimmick that table.
No, and it was a thicker table too.
It was a thicker table, but it had no metal bars underneath it.
Yeah.
So we thought we could do it. We kind of looked at how we could gimmick it, but then we weren't sure if we gimmick it, will it be able to stand or be able to people notice it. So we decided not to gimmick, and throughout the whole match, that's something that was in the back of my mind, probably in the back of your mind too.
Yeah, definitely.
When that moment came that we were going to go through the table, so we thought the best way that we could go through it was set it up in the corner.
Yeah.
So obviously spot after spot after spot, hopes and all this other stuff. We set the table up in the corner, and I said, well, this is it, dude. Like, this is make or break.
Yeah.
If it doesn't break, man,
We're screwed.
We've done 40 minutes for nothing.
Yeah.
So, we sit up in the corner, and he slams Tabitha into the ground, and I'm fainted because I've just taken, I think it was an STO.
Yep.
And I'm waiting. I'm like, shit. I already told him. I think even before that match started, or even during it as well. I was like, dude, when you hit me, I'm gonna jump back.
Yeah.
But you give it everything you got, and I'm gonna put all my weight into it. It's the only way. And he comes in with that spear. That spear hit so hard. but that's not what I was worried about. And then we hear the crack. I'm not sure if it's my ribs or if it's the table.
Well, yeah.
And then you hear the bell ring, and oh man, it was a sigh of relief.
Yeah.
I think I had a little bit of a sleep in that corner.
Yeah. You're like, it's finally over.
It was over. I was so exhausted, and I was so happy at the same time that we broke the table. So yeah, it was, and I could hear the kids going nuts and stuff, and Tab's like, "Oh my God, are you okay? Like for realsies, are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good. Just let me. I'm just gonna keep my eyes closed and shh, just let me be." I think I kind of stayed bent up in that corner for a good 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Just to really sell it, really hit it home. So that was good. It was a good way to end our little feud.
Yeah.
Damn, I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
And then you've gone on to verse like the likes of Charlie Roberts, Rough Guts, Aloro Maximo.
Yeah.
You've been in there with Graham as well again, and fast forward after the tables match stuff, you get your first opportunity for the Hughes Academy Championship.
Yeah, definitely.
And you won. So
yeah,
first championship under the belt.
Championship under the belt. I didn't expect it, especially so soon, and with the amount of experience that I'd had, and the amount of time I'd actually spent in the ring. But obviously, they saw something in me that seemed pretty cool. It would be able to tell a cool storyline, and putting titles on both myself and Tabitha sort of made for the whole power couple thing. So yeah, definitely receiving that gold the first time.
Yeah.
Obviously it wasn't clean.
Yeah.
But, none of my matches really were.
Nope.
I think I might have only had one, maybe two clean matches, but other than that, yeah, every other match, Tabitha's always been there to sort of help me solidify that win. So yeah, getting that title the first time round was unexpected, but at the same time pretty cool. I was quite chuffed at the idea of carrying a belt around, raising it above my head, and doing what championship things. So you kind of almost go back to being a kid again, holding that title. I used to make championship belts out of cardboard. Pretty sure most kids in my era did the same thing, if you weren't rich enough to actually go out and buy one from the warehouse or something. But yeah, it was definitely a throwback to how I felt when I was a kid, winning that championship belt off of my mates through ladder matches and stuff like that. So, and they're a lot heavier than I would have expected. It was a cool feeling, definitely.
You've been in part of Fatal 4-Ways, tag teams, triple threats, and you've almost done it. Or there's a couple of things that you probably would like to tick off the bucket list.
Yep.
Match wise, first championship under the belt, done, dusted, and you get another opportunity, and you get to win it again.
I get to win it again, yeah.
And
so, that was the thing. Yeah, that was cool. Getting it around the second time, once again, didn't expect it. I was always on and off with the Hughes Academy, especially because I was always quite busy in the weekend. So being able to get that opportunity again to call myself the champ was definitely a shock, but at the same time I was quite excited to see what was next, because with the championship belt means that you get to not only main event, but you get to go up against people with the likes of Charlie Roberts and Rough Guts and Kartik. You get to go up against the top guys, in Hughes Academy, and then also you get a target on your back from possibly other people. So for me it was, I saw it as an opportunity to work with more experienced guys than myself, and to learn off them, and at the same time just have fun with it. You know, guys have always been fun to hang around with, always cracking jokes and stuff. So that's what it meant for me. Especially the second time round, it just gave me another opportunity to wrestle them again. You know, as much as I enjoyed wrestling the other guys like you know, Al, Maximo, and Hayden and stuff like that, you know, it was definitely, I've always enjoyed going head to head with Charlie, and I hope to sort of lock arms with him again, because I think our last two matches that we've had are, you know, they've been kind of cut short due to injuries and whatnot, but and circumstances, but definitely something that I wouldn't mind exploring again, because in the short amount of time that we have been in the ring together, you know, we've managed to pull off some crazy stuff, and I'm sure it can get a hell of a lot crazier. So yeah, that's what it sort of meant for me to get it the second time round.
What is your goal, and what would you like to get out of professional wrestling?
I don't really have a set goal. You know, it was, like I said, from the beginning it was something I fell into. It was something that I used to do as a kid, just for, you know, for fun, and being able to do it, to wrestle, to sort of live out something that you used to do as a kid, but for real. That's really the goal for me. There's nothing really more than that. It's more to just take each match, each day as it comes. You know, just have fun with it, see what kind of crazy stuff we could get up to, without hurting myself. I'm pretty sure my family doesn't want me to break my neck or anything like that, but yeah, I'll keep doing it for as long as I can, or as long as my family lets me, at least. But no, so yeah, if I had to sort of pick a goal, it's to just keep doing it. That's the goal for me, is to just keep being able to do it, and hoping that my body doesn't fail me. Aspirations and things like that, yeah, there's nothing really. I think I've gotten everything that I wanted to get out of wrestling, and I just wanted to keep going. So that's for me. I don't really have the dream of becoming a WWE star or anything like that. I'm happy to just watch them on TV. You know, I'm happy with what I'm doing, and if I get to travel New Zealand a little bit more, I mean, that's pretty cool too. You know, go around and see different parts of the country, and meet different people, and wrestle different people. Yeah, that's all part and parcel, and I'll gladly welcome it. Yeah.
So what is next for Kenith?
What's next for Kenith? It's a good question, actually. I don't know. I'm not too sure in terms of what's next for me. I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens when I get back. It's been a while since I've been in that ring, bar from that little stint that we just had. Don't remember that. Don't keep that in your memory. That was kind of just a one-off thing. But no, once I get back into it, which shouldn't be too much longer, but say a month or two down the line, yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. You guys will just have to wait and see what's next. Maybe a change in name. Never really liked that name. Yeah, I like Kendrick. What do you reckon? Kendrick sounds better than Kenith. I never liked Kenith.
Make it happen, Graham. Make it happen.
Yeah, I think I might have to make a debut, a re-debut,
Yeah.
and no one will know. Everyone would just be like, yeah, sure, that's you. I don't know. I might have to change a couple of things around, but yeah, let me know what you think.
Thank you very much for taking the time out to do this episode.
No worries, man.
So this has been Behind the Wrestler, and until next time,